We might get canceled for this one. This is Hard Parking, brought to you by Right Honda and Right Toyota out of Scottsdale, Arizona. I am your host, Jhae Pfenning, recording from my home studio here in Gilbert, Arizona. Coming up on today's show, DeVante Mack of the Mackism Effect joins us in studio. He is also the man behind the Divergent Being Network, Drinks and Kicks, as well as the Old Head and the Youngin' podcast. But most importantly, he is my friend, and we might just get canceled today. Mr. DeVante Mack. Sitting here with DeVante Mack of Mackism Effect and a bunch of other things. We've been trying to get this together for a long time. I had to lure you over here with some white wine.
I wouldn't say that did it, but you know, that was a good, like, enticing thing. So, but regardless though, hey man, I'm always happy to come on.
So you're not the first wino in studio. Josh Benjamin is a big wino. He's a red wino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's funny too how it came about to be such a lover of wine. Like,
tell us.
All right, so I think it was, and this is gonna sound crazy. This is why I never claim I'm a wine connoisseur. Stella Rosa is my all-time favorite wine, and that's just because it's cheap, but it tastes great. I could always drink it. A friend, she poured me a glass of the Stella Rosa Black. I had never had it. I think I killed that whole bottle that night.
So where is it on the scale of dry to sweet?
I'd say it's a little bit on the sweeter side, but it's like that just right to where it's like, I have this thing where I say, I don't want to taste the alcohol. I know that's dangerous. I know. But I just like to continuously just drink it. Now, I know when to cut myself off. I've made myself pretty aware of that. And I would like to say I'm a very aware drunk. But, you know, I don't want to taste the alcohol. I like it to taste good and sweet.
How do you know? How do you know when it's time?
Because I actually... Here's another funny story for you. I'm going to have a lot of funny stories.
That's what we're here for.
So, work event. We are at Talking Stick Resort. I literally...
What's work? Where's work? Or is this old work?
Oh, no, current work. So, probably 2 glasses of wine, 2 vodka Red Bulls. Yeah, that did it. Don't ever mix those. I literally tell my coworker, hey, until I stop slurring my words, don't let me leave. He looks at me and he's like, wait, you can tell? I'm like, yeah, I can literally tell. Yeah, so that's what made me a very self-aware drunk.
Yeah, I think there was studies, maybe 10 years ago or so, about the dangers of mixing vodka, Red Bull, or energy drink and vodka, and people still do it. You know, we did it for years. You know, I've kind of moved away from it, but it's not because of the warnings. I mean, shit, I'm drinking tequila. You're drinking wine. I mean, it's not like that's going to make it worse for me. But I think there was a girl recently,
the one
right,
that
who passed up
yep.
a bunch of these energy drinks.
Yep. Yeah, you know, it's funny too. Me and my little brother were actually talking about that because he constantly gets on me about drinking so many energy drinks. And he's like, think about that girl that just passed, sadly. And I'm like, well, yeah, she drank 5.
Right.
Why would you drink 5 in one day? That's terrible. I cut myself off at 2. Like, I'm drinking water most of the day. I mean, it's Arizona. You have to drink water. But...
Yeah, in my day, we took these little pills. I want to say they were called mini thins. And they were about essentially caffeine pills. And that's what you would take to keep going. And I'm pretty sure people were ODing or dying on too many of those.
Wow.
And they taste like shit too. Like you can't chew them. You put them in, they're powdered. So they're not, I mean, they're non-coated, you know? So it's just like, you basically have to pop them with water or whatever and just swallow immediately. But that's, you know, that's kind of, is obviously dangerous, and you could probably still find them at remote truck stops. But tell us about you. My people, with the exception of Jorge, doesn't really know much about you. You do have Mackism Effect. It comes out, once a month?
So we try to do it more. It's just all dependent on. Well, okay, I guess I'll start
You have
from
a few
here.
other things you do as
Yeah,
well.
so I guess I'll start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning.
I actually own a startup multimedia network named Divergent Being Media. And, the whole premise of it starting was kind of out of pettiness, I will say. Uh, I'm very petty, I'm not gonna lie to you. I contain it very well. So
Hey,
it
One
was
Auto
a.
Movement started out of
Oh,
pettiness.
really?
Yeah, but
We'll have to get to that in a second.
yeah.
But so it started off by seeing Complex, their sneaker of the year panel, and watching it, I absolutely hated it so much because I sat there and asked myself, how can these people that are, for one, famous enough to anybody is willing to give them whatever for free, B, they have infinite amounts of money to get whatever sneaker they want. How are they going to tell me what's cool and what's not? That makes zero sense to me. So decided to do my own. Honestly, we've been doing it since 2020. And, each time it's always been better. And especially now, I'd say till this day, I think I have one of the better ones on the internet that's, self-funded, not backed by a corporation. But, so that eventually turned into my current show, Drinks and Kicks, which we got a lot more stuff planned for that we were actually just talking about this past week. So I'm looking forward to bringing that out. But what started the Mackism Effect was I originally had a podcast called The Old Head and the Youngin with a buddy of mine. And, still hoping that we bring that back. But he went on hiatus. I decided to make the Mackism Effect. And, it's been great because it allows me to kind of get better at conversing with people. It's actually helped me a lot more because I used to not talk at all. Like, some guests cannot believe it when I tell them I used to not talk very much. And it's really allowed me to, meet people, like yourself as well, And honestly, I'll say I'm very grateful for starting it because if I did not, I might not have a lot of these friendships, relationships that I've built. So I'm always going to be grateful that I did start it. But yeah. So I mean, just trying to continuously build it, trying to get on you and Jorge's level.
Stop.
I had to sneak that in there.
He's gonna love it.
Of course he is.
He's yelling at his car radio right now.
Oh man, it's super good to have him on too. But I can tell everybody was not too thrilled. We mainly just talked about wrestling the whole time. But I told him on his pod, we can get away with that on mine because A, mine's not heavily car related, and B, I don't care. You're gonna listen to what I gotta say. So.
Fact. Hey, you know what? There's another train that's always coming. There's another episode,
Amen.
and we're talking about Jorge Aquino of Tormenting Tarmac.
Shout out to you, buddy. But also too, what a lot of people don't know is that within the Mackism Effect, there's actually two shows. The trend, I try to do it weekly if I just had the time. Obviously, I think that's the one thing that we're all trying to find more of, time. That one is more so just kind of giving my thoughts about, whatever interest I have that's going on. I tend to talk about a lot of F1 on there, at a base level. Yeah, because I don't got time for all the technical stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. That's just too much for me to try and gather up and tell people. So I always recommend people go check out elsewhere if they want to know about all that. But, really it's just, even with the random thoughts series that I do on my Instagram, the trend really is for that, just to, I see something that I kind of have some opinions on. That's where I'll give it, who knows? trying to get paid for, my opinion, but it hasn't happened yet.
Well, you keep working at it, and
Yes,
you know, you'll get there if you want to get there.
oh yeah, of course.
But I think you also offer something a little different. You get people from, at least the ones that I've clicked in, the local car community, and you give them an opportunity to not only tell who they are, but kind of pick their brains. And you guys do this like really fun Q&A thing that's kind of back and forth.
Yeah, so that actually got started by a former colleague of mine. She had told me, I feel your audience doesn't know enough about you, so you should start doing, you know, Mackism episodes, but I actually kind of transitioned that a little bit. So,
So she's not a colleague anymore. Did you guys have a falling out?
as far as I know, yes, but I don't know.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I got to double click into those data
no,
points.
no. I mean, it's kind of like I don't know where we stand.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just leave it there. But so with the Mackism episodes, I actually only give those out to either very close friends that have known me for a long time, because it gives them an opportunity to ask questions that they've either always wanted to ask but just never really had the courage, or it's just, if it pops in your head, ask me. And I kind of don't really give myself too much leeway. If they ask me something, I have to answer it. So I try to like not give myself too much leeway there. But even with the ending Q&A on the regular episodes, that's why I try to give everybody, 5 to 10 questions that you want to ask me, because I think it's fun for them to kind of, we swap places in a sense, and they turn into the host, for a little bit of time, because, it kind of gives them a chance to, see like, could I host a podcast? So I always thought it was cool to do something like that. So I always continue to do it.
How generous of you. Hey, I'm going to have you on my podcast. I'm going to put the camera on you. I'm going to record you. Now you can ask me what you want to ask me.
Exactly.
I wonder if people have not asked because they're kind of scared of that. Because people are, you think you've learned, right? People are different once the cameras are rolling.
So, April Halleck.
Yep.
Yeah, so she was actually one of the more fun ones, because we actually had to do 2.
Future guest. She might be coming right up.
Oh, nice. So I've had her on technically twice. The first episode we scrapped. It is uploaded, and I keep asking her, can I just put it out? Because it was actually kind of funny. But
what happened with it?
So
technical issues?
No, it's just we both kind of didn't like a lot of parts in it. So we kind of just wanted to redo it. And I will say she was very nervous at first. But
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which is so funny, because I remember when me and her first met, and like it was the most awkward meeting of all time, like on both ends, because we weren't sure like how to like approach each other at first.
Hey.
Yeah. And
so
yeah. So we know each other through Instagram. We both know so and so. Cool car. All right, bye.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a super fun episode. She didn't think she asked a lot of good questions. I felt like they were great. In terms of, I always tell people, like, ask me those spicy questions. Like I want to challenge myself to, if you give me a question that I've never actually thought about, that's when I start having the most fun. Because like it forces me to actually think. But she did a great job. Mariella as well, which hers are always funny. I'd say that first one was probably one of the funnest episodes I've ever done, period.
So she's been on more than once?
Yes. She's been on twice. One by herself, one with her friend Cheyenne from Parts.
I saw that one.
Yes. Yeah. That was fun too. I will say it is funny when she's on, because I get so many DMs. I apologize in advance, Mari, but I got to tell this story. her first time when she was on, that is still probably one of my most viral reels that I've ever put out for the Mackism Effect. When I tell you the amount of DMs that I got, like, wait, you know her? I'm like, yeah, I've known her since for like a decade now. Or
So what was it? What was the viral? Did she say something crazy, or were people just
we both did. So, oh man. Okay, so I made a joke about if all else fails, I might just have to go on ahead and join the train and get on OnlyFans. And she says, I got homegirls that do that, so I could hook you up. And that's when I hit the hold on. Like, I was just kidding. Like, but, it was that. I forget what else I said, but that was a funny episode overall. Now, it did get quite annoying with DMs because the amount of times that I got asked, were we dating? And I'm like, dude, we're just friends. Chill out. Like, just because you see a girl on the pod, that does not mean we're dating. Like, and I've also stressed to people, I understand that podcasting kind of has a sort of a negative limelight for women.
How
in
so?
a sense. I feel like, so Fresh and Fit podcast, I'll use them as an example.
I'm not familiar with them.
You're lucky. I wish I wasn't.
Are they local, or they just
No.
they always have viral clips?
Yes.
So then explain it, and I may actually have seen these clips.
You ever, Myron Gaines?
I know who that is. Yep.
Okay, he's the host of it.
Okay,
so I can't stand that podcast because it's that red pill, blue pill type podcast.
He's pretty hardcore.
And annoying, but
hardcore as far as doesn't seem to really give a fuck.
100%. But also too, I feel like that's what kind of makes people not take him serious at times.
Could be, yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
So that's his podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
To my understanding,
I've probably, because I've seen him do like his turning point stuff, you know, and I'm like, dude, you're a dick, But I may have seen him do some of the pod stuff too.
Yeah. So,
but I know I haven't really watched more than clips.
Yes. Like, I see the clips and I'm like, dude, do you just invite women on here just to bully them? Because if so, that's weirdo activity, and I don't even get why you have such a big. I know why he has a following, because it's a bunch of weird dudes that follow him, but I'll digress there. But
I got to make sure I'm not following him.
No. So, I mean, I look at podcasts like that and I told myself, I want to make sure that any woman that comes on the pod feels as comfortable as possible, because, I started understanding how they feel towards dudes, and it took a long time for me to kind of see their perspective a lot better in a sense. But that's why I say I feel podcasting kind of gives a negative limelight for them. Just because it's like you see stuff like that and essentially see these women getting bullied on podcasts.
I see.
Yeah, like I understand. So that's why I always stress to any woman that's coming on the pod, like, hey, is there anything I can do to make sure you are as comfortable as possible? Like, I don't care if you got to bring a girlfriend, a boyfriend, your mom, your dad, your grandma. I don't care who you got to bring. I just want you to feel comfortable. Let me know if there's things you don't want to talk about. Let me know if I say something that is kind of triggering. You just need to tell me. And so far, I've never had a single issue. So I'd say I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a sense, I usually ask people, like, is there anything you don't want to talk about?
Yes.
Because it's all about the viral clip. And I think like for the Myron Gaines of the world, it's the effect, no pun intended, where you want that viral clip. You want to get somebody in front of you, either in his case, you want to make them look dumb as hell.
Yes.
Or say something so crazy, it's going to skyrocket you. And it's about the hot take in a sense, in a certain,
yes.
It's a viral clip.
And, it's funny with that, too, because I was actually prepared to do an episode with my little brother. Uh, just it was gonna be a Mackism episode, and
Mm-hmm.
I told him we're just gonna do nothing but hot takes. And I think one of them I actually had to use for that last episode I did with my nephew. And, it was funny when me and my little brother were talking about it because I told him, like, so we're 10 hot takes each. We're just going to discuss them. It only took me an hour to get 10 hot takes. This dude was stuck on 3 for like the whole day. And he's like, dude, like, do you really just hate the world that much? I'm like, look, dude,
I
like,
think it's hard, man. Like, I don't
no,
know.
like, I get it, but it's like, I told him, like, my problem is I don't know how to shut off my brain all the time. Like, literally, like,
How much do you filter out?
mm,
Because I get accused of just saying what's on my mind, and I don't. I rarely say what's on my mind. And what comes out is
yeah,
usually heavily filtered,
yeah, I'd probably
and
say,
I'll take the risk and still say it, but
yeah,
I've thought about it.
that's actually a great question. I'd probably say it's a good 25% that gets filtered out. And even then, I wouldn't even say that it's bad. It's just like, I probably shouldn't say it this way. So let me just say it a nicer way. I'd probably say
Sure.
that's how I do it. But I mean, at the same time, it's like, I'm a firm believer in not everything needs to be said out loud. And I'm also a firm believer in
I
some
agree.
people just need to learn how to shut up if we're just
I
being
agree.
honest. So kind of take that how you will, audience, because believe me, there's a lot of stuff I could say and it would probably piss off a lot of people. Now, in reality, it's like I always ask myself, like, okay, whoever I'm talking to, I know how they feel about certain topics. Should I really give my opinion here? Now,
If
if
they
it's
ask
like,
about it, though, right?
exactly, if they ask, okay, I'll give it to you. Um, Now, let me ask you this. How much flack do you catch for just saying what's on your mind?
I usually don't just say what's on my mind.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm
And
asking when you do.
Even in my hot takes, I've filtered them.
Okay.
It's in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Just because, or I'll say something and I catch myself. I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and explain that line just because you know how the world is. We've had these mini conversations before. It's like, okay, on a recent episode, I was talking about kindergartners and fifth graders and sixth graders graduating.
Oh, I remember that. You know what's
Yeah.
funny? Before you even go, I totally agreed. I felt it was like, why are we celebrating a fifth grader going to sixth grade?
Yeah, I was like,
like-
this is what I filter out. And I'm going to say it now. I was like, congratulations, you're not retarded. Like, let's go, but then I catch myself because once you realize as an adult, you have friends with special needs kids
100%,
and stuff. Then I'm like,
100%.
I can't use that word because even though I don't mean it like that,
Yeah.
so I don't want to offend people in that. And so that's when I try to pull it back. Instead I said, congratulations, you're not slow, but what I should have said is, thank God little Timmy made it out of kindergarten.
Okay.
So that's an example of filtration
Okay.
from me.
I have some slight pushback, but I think it's because I always like to refer to myself as a middle child because I'm literally the cutoff of millennials, being born in 96, but I obviously had to grow up with Gen Z. So it's like, it's interesting for me because I understand both sides, but then I always had to explain to Gen Zers, it's like, you guys got to understand, like, this is just how we're used to talking because, like, the stuff that they get upset about, I'm like, dude, I was saying that in, like, 4th grade. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Like, you're offended by that? There's way worse stuff that could be said, and that's what made you start crying? All right. But then it's like, I look at them and I'm like, okay, I kind of get it. Like, it's just... But this is also where I get to my point of every generation ruins something for the next generation. They do good for the next generation, but they also ruin something. I'd say millennials kind of made Gen Zers soft. Just my hot take, but again, to each your own. But I get it though. I mean, I'd say, because even we've had this talk, no matter what, with us doing what we do, you're gonna piss somebody off. Like, I was just telling somebody the other day in a meeting we were having, I could literally say, like, be talking about dogs on a podcast and say, I don't like corgis. Somebody's gonna be in that comment section like, how dare you? I have 5 corgis. Like, did you know? Da 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 da. I'm like, dude, I just don't like corgis. Like, cool that you have 5. Hey, send me a picture. I'd love to see them, actually. I just don't like corgis.
Well, that's kind of symptomatic of a lot of the, that's a microcosm of a lot of the bigger issues we just have, period, right?
Oh, 100%.
But I was thinking, in that example, as a comedian, like, neither one of us are comedians, but there's people who think we're funny.
I mean,
you know, you can get up there and tell a joke, and there's going to be somebody who takes it personal because in their personal life, it hits hard and it's not funny. You know, and it's like, well, that comedian can't change the show if it's where they got their success and, you know, their bread and butter, because that one person in the crowd who's highly offended because it affects them on a personal level. But I'm not a comedian. You're not a comedian.
I do think I could at least get 30 minutes on Netflix. I think
you think, okay,
I think I can get that. I just want to throw that out.
You want to do your open mic session right now?
I mean, we'll say that.
Talk about on the spot.
We'll say that because
I have a buddy, an NSX buddy. Most of my buddies are NSX buddies. I have an NSX buddy, goes by the name of David Hahn, and he's in California, LA, and he does open mic, he does comedy, and he's been on the show a couple times, and we get along great, and he's had some takes where I've had people say, that guy's not funny. Who is he? And he's funny unless he offends the shit out of you, you know, and he does semi-political, semi-whatever, you know, and he lives in Cali, so he can talk about what's going on in Cali.
Yeah.
And so if you're offended what he's talking about, that's not because he's not any good. It's because you took it too personal, you know?
No, 100%. I mean, it's like, you want to talk about comedians for a second. Take the Kevin Hart roast that just happened.
Like, oh, yeah, that's very highly controversial because of a few things that were said.
I haven't had a chance to fully watch it. I've only seen clips, and I know that's a bad way to...
I'll probably never watch it.
Yeah, I just don't care
I'll see it on clips if that, but same deal. I just don't care enough.
But, you know, like, Shane Gillis, I've told people I don't think he's funny. Like, he has moments where I'm like, okay, that's a funny joke, but I still don't think he's funny.
Yeah.
Tony Hinchcliffe, I do not think is funny at all. Like,
wasn't he the guy that did the stand up at the RNC or whatever?
I think so. Yes.
Who offended, like, he said something about Puerto Ricans or something else, and people got wildly offended.
It's not even about the offensive part. It's just more so like I listen to him and I'm like,
I don't think he's funny.
It's just dry to me.
I don't think Kevin Hart's funny.
Oh, Kevin Hart had a moment, but then as I got older, it's like, dude, like, you're kind of like saying the same stuff.
That you say the same stuff, and hey, I heard Chris Rock say that 10 years ago, or I heard Dave Chappelle say that, I heard Eddie Murphy say that. But
yeah, so it's like, you want to talk about just being a really good comedian. It's like Dave Chappelle is like one of the few that I've said, this dude almost always has something new to say, and it's always funny. Yes, he may reiterate at times, but even then, he finds a new way.
He's great at bringing it back.
Yes.
And he's great, especially in this older stage he's a great storyteller.
Yes.
Which I think is key.
Actually, are you familiar with Ryan Davis?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I actually just saw him live last weekend, and let me tell you, as soon as he started, he's like, so let's go on ahead and talk about this weirdo Diddy. I'm like, oh, here we go. You know, I was still one of his jokes right now. He was telling a story about how when he was getting started working, he worked at Walmart, literally says, you know, my whole time working at Walmart, keep in mind, I was a stalker. That's all I do. I never saw 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I had to sit there, look at Diddy. I'm like, I'm kind of impressed, low key, because who's your plug? I've never seen 1,000 bottles. I'm like,
that's a lot of big oil.
Exactly, but that was funny because I'm like, come to think of it, I've never seen even 100 bottles of baby oil. So I'm like, that's actually kind of funny.
I've seen a lot of Matt Rife clips. He seems to be rising up.
He's like that in between for me because I always thought he was funnier on Wild and Out.
Oh, is that where he's from?
Yeah, see, I believe that's where he got his real big break. Yeah.
Yeah, my kids watched that.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
His stand-up, it's like always hit or miss for me because I'm like again,
it's more parts, with I think the crowd. Are funny.
Yeah. But I can respect what he does because it's like, hey, I'm pretty sure I've gained an understanding of, okay, you kind of have to work with the crowd in that field. Like,
yeah.
If the crowd gives you one thing, all right, you piggyback off that. But if they're dry, that's going to make your job even harder. So that's where I do feel for comedians there and give them some props regardless of who you are. But again, there's just some I don't think are funny. But hey, to each your own, to each your own.
So how would you, I'm thinking of all these different things you're talking, going back to the Mackism Effect.
Yes, sir.
How would you describe that to the viewing and listening audience of why they should check in?
Okay, so.
And I noticed with your nephew, you weren't playing the background music.
Yes. So I've been kind of doing that because I have a hard time with podcasts, like listening to them. Like I got to hear a bunch of different noises at times.
Sure. To keep your attention.
Yeah, just listening to somebody talk like can get boring to me quick.
That's my biggest problem. I get it.
Yeah, so that's why I try to put some background music there. I kind of had to compensate because the mics were trash, so apologies. But if I had to explain to somebody why they should tune in, I'm kind of treating the Mackism Effect because I'm pretty sure you've seen, I don't promote it as much as I really should. I'm kind of treating it as I guess you could say, a video book of just my conversations with people, because I'll straight up say I never wanted to be a podcaster. I never had any aspiration for it. I just started doing it out of kind of necessity just to keep one show going. And, now it's turned into, people actually tell me, like, dude, you're actually really good at what you do. And to this day, it's
reassuring to hear that.
I question it at times when they tell me that because I'm like, how? Like, I don't even think I'm doing that great. But one gentleman that I've actually had on some projects, his name is Pop Fields. He's actually a local artist out here. He's actually done some work for Eric that owns Last Era brand. Yeah. And he told me, he was introducing me to one of his colleagues, and he was saying, like, we got to get on his show, man. He's got this, like, really good way, like, when he asks questions, he draws answers out of you that you never thought you even had. And I'm like, interesting. Like, I've never heard that before. So, yeah, that was pretty reassuring, I will say.
I think that comes from honing your interview style. Like, what do you consume? Do you consume other podcasts?
Yeah.
Who are your, this is a very generic question.
Yes.
And I know people have asked you this before.
Oh, yeah.
And what you can't say is anybody local. So I don't want to hear about Tormenting Tarmac.
All right.
But, who inspired you to, because like you said, you didn't really want to do it, but who inspired you to have the motivation to get up there and do it? And whose style do you like? You're like, I like that style. Like, for me, it's easy. I could say, okay, I started off listening to Jim Rome a lot. People have a love-hate with him. But I like this style. I listened to Adam Carolla for a long time. Listened to Dan Le Batard with Stu Gatz a long time. Okay. And now I really only listen to like one or two podcasts that aren't local, that aren't those. And I still like those people for everything they've done for my motivation for this show. But I just don't really click into them anymore.
I got you.
Like, what got you to where you're at as far as moving forward with Mackism and some of the other projects that you do.
Okay.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying this episode. Right now we're going to cut to SparkForge Arcus Foundry. Beside the commercial, if you guys really want to know what that's about, you want to see some proof of concept, go to hardparking.com and check out the website. That's one of a gajillion different things they could do. You can look at all the episodes that I've done so far. There's a cool little search feature in there. If you click around, you'll find it, and it is a completion match. So if you want to know how many times someone's been on the podcast, you can do it, and it should bring up every episode, if not most of the episodes. No other podcast provider does that because, of course, SparkForge Arcus Foundry isn't a podcast provider, but you can't do that anywhere else. But if you want to know more about this podcast and what I've done and who's been on my show, go to hardparking.com. But first, check out this ad for Marcus. If you run a business and you're tired of juggling tools, chasing logins, and constantly feeling like the tech side of things is heavier than it should be, this might hit close to home. That tech fatigue usually shows up as an outdated website, reviews slipping through the cracks, missed calls when you're busy, or social media that's always on the back burner. Most business owners know something's off, but fixing it feels like a bigger project than they have time for. SparkForge exists to take that weight off. It handles the tech behind the scenes, helps clean up how your business shows up online, makes sure calls and messages don't get mixed, keeps reviews from slipping through the cracks, and wrangles social marketing so you don't disappear for weeks. If you're curious, there's a short discovery session, and it comes with 90 days free to actually see if it makes things easier. No pitch, no pressure, just a real conversation about what's working, what's broken, and what you can simplify. So head over to getsparkforge.ai/hardparking to get started.
So I got to cheat a little bit because there is one local one that I do actually have to give credit for.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
He's actually based out of the West Valley. Greg, the founder, co-founder of the Sneak Diss Sneaker podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, so he's probably one of the biggest ones, and it's just because, like, I got put onto him probably 2018, 2019.
Okay.
And, just once I heard how long they had been going with it and then kind of seeing just what they'd done from the start till this day, it's like, it's impressive. And I'll always give him his flowers on what he's done. And I know that he's talking about hanging it up, which I kind of hate. I'm not going to lie. But, I've kind of told people, which I'll just say here, if he does decide to hang it up, I'm ready to, carry on that torch. I mean, he may not pass it to me, but I'm willing to take it if I need to.
Like step in as the new host of that existing brand?
Just give viewers a show that's, not necessarily similar, but something that's like, hey, even though this is gone, come watch this. Because if anything, he's a big inspiration for Drinks and Kicks. And I know Drinks and Kicks is essentially once every quarter for that show, but I can say we actually are planning on doing some weekly. So, yeah, that's where I can say I hope I can carry the torch. So he's one that definitely big inspiration. Another one.
And if you don't have like the big national ones, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, I got a few actually. Grits and Eggs podcast, who I've actually mentioned as well. Deontay Kyle. Definitely like what they're doing. I know it may not be for everybody, but at the same time, not every podcast is for everybody. So you just got to take that with a grain of salt. But definitely like what they're doing over there. And I mean, just how quick he has blown up. Definitely inspiring. And then, man, trying to think if there is another one, but I'd probably say those two just for now. Just because.
What is it about those that got you here?
I'd probably say it's just really about just the genuine conversation that they have on their pods. And I always kind of wanted to make sure that, like, hey, it was never about just trying to get the clips on the Mackism Effect, or heck, any project for that matter. Like, even the last Drinks and Kicks that we recorded, you know, I literally told everybody that was on there, you know, like, I'm not expecting you to, you know, say some stuff that's obviously going to blow up. And, you know, I'm not expecting, you know, you to follow a script. Like, just talk. That's all I'm asking you to do. And, you know, everybody does well with that, and really could not ask for much more than that. And I like that they're just having a good time just talking, because most of the guys that are on there, usually they probably only know one other person, if that.
Right,
so that's
right.
all their first initial time meeting. So I feel that helps as well, kind of build that genuine conversation, because as you're getting to know each other, you're also having to ask questions for this show to go. So I think that helps out a lot. And even with the Mackism Effect, like, yes, it's people I've met. We've had a little bit of convo, but also too, like, what helps me as well when I'm bringing them on is I study you before you come on. Like, I literally just sit there, I look at your feed, I look at what you post. Sometimes
Smart.
I actually ask you questions that you never even thought anybody would have even asked you or even knew about you. So it actually does pay off at times. So really, like I said, it's just all about making sure I do my due diligence and making sure I know who you are, what you're into, so that way I come prepared.
Smart, man. I used to do that. I don't really do it much
gets
anymore.
tough after a while. I mean, you're a busy man, so it's tough.
I think the first time I had No LG on, which everybody knows is Hector from all the movies and stuff, I think I watched 4 or 5 hours worth of his interviews.
Interesting.
And what I found with him is he says the same shit every time. And so I came up with some questions to ask him that he's never been asked.
Really?
And I think people, especially if you ever get the red carpet people is what I call them. They get the red carpet questions. It's just, how many Fast and Furious movies have you been in, you know? And then when Cody is back on the podcast, you know, I'm not going to ask him the same shit everybody else asks him. I'm going to ask him the next level question. You know, so like when No LG, it's like, hey, how'd you start? Long story short, I was like, yeah. And then you have to look like you care because you've already seen it millions of times. But like he always tells a story about how, and it's a fucked up story, how his father came home one day and said, I'm out. I'm going to go sail the world with my homie, and left him and his mother.
Wow.
You know, yeah. I mean, that's a fucked up story. And then, you know, Noel had issues for a while, obviously. Most people would in that situation.
Oh, yeah.
And then I asked him about his kids. I said, are you afraid of becoming your parents? And no one's ever asked him that before.
Oh, wow.
And I know he loved that question. And that, we're
forced
homies now.
It forced him to think.
Yeah, you know. Send him a text message, he'll text me back. You know, but it's, so I appreciate the fact that you do that with people, and I need to do better at that.
Again, it comes from not being able to turn my brain off. Like, actually, one of my now really good friends, Jhae, who we're actually bringing on board to Divergent Being, the first project I had him on, he told me after we were done, like, you know, like, DeVante, I didn't realize how serious you were in this. I'm like, oh, what do you mean, Jhae? He's like,
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, and he tells me, like, honestly, like, the entire time, like, set up to filming, during filming, he's like, I was kind of watching you the whole time, and it's like, it was kind of crazy because he tells me, like, dude, you were a machine, like, and he told me, like, dude, you're honestly like a human think tank, like, and that's where I get that I can't turn my brain off, because even have you met Aspen?
I don't think I've met Aspen Smith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I may have seen her in the same space, but I've never been like, and I apologize if she were to ever watch this or listen to it, which I think I would be honored if she did, but I may have met her at some point before she started doing all her posts.
Okay.
but I don't remember having met her if I ever did. But so I'm going to say no, I haven't met her.
If I ever see you and I happen to be with her, I'll make sure to introduce y'all to. It was funny because actually the last event that we were both at, the last Era event, me and her were talking, and I was telling her, like, it's kind of crazy because I am now that friend that everybody knows does content creating, and they like to come and ask me for help or questions. And I was telling her, like, I need to just start charging people. He's like, you could get into consulting.
Like consulting? Yeah.
But I'm like,
I hear you.
Yeah, but then I'm like, I got to show proof that this will work. I'm like, I'm not a numbers guy. It's just, look, this is my idea. I feel like it would be great. You know how many ideas I've given to people? Because it was either I just don't have the time to do it, or I can't do it because I don't want to get in trouble. So it's like, I just kind of hand off a lot of ideas because, again, it comes from that not being able to shut my brain off. So I'm constantly just always thinking of something. And, it's cool to have a lot of creative friends as well, because it's nice to be able to bounce ideas off of each other.
I agree.
Yeah. So always fortunate to, have my circle that I have built up just through this in general. Yeah. But, even then too, I actually meant to tell you, the gentleman that you had from On My Block in SWAT.
Right behind me on the wall?
Yes. I was trying to remember his name right now.
Steve Villegas.
Yes. My mom actually loved that episode.
Oh, that's awesome. Tell her thank you.
Of course, because she actually was a big fan of SWAT for obvious reasons. Shamar Moore.
Right. Same as my wife.
Of course. Yeah. So when I saw that you were going to have him on, I'm like, let me send her this link. And yeah, she watched it. She loved it.
I'm never going to, Steve's so busy, and he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he's someone I also met through Noel. And I'm gonna have Caesar on at some point too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's actually got a Del Sol.
Interesting.
Yeah. But there's actually stuff I thought about for a while, and I cut out of that episode.
I remember we talked about this.
Because I think I personally think he went a little too nuclear on the industry.
Well, I understood. Like, some of the things that he was talking about, I understood because...
But again, some of that stuff didn't even make it. That's the stuff I allowed in there.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it completely. And, that's a tough thing, I'd say, too, because I will say with doing this, you run into some interesting people. I'm pretty sure you could say the same thing. There's some I feel have given me the cold shoulder at times. I feel there's some that it's like I would love to have as a guest, but it's like I just feel like you kind of just don't rock with me for some odd reason. Now, I mean, could I say names? Sure. Do I really care? No, because it is what it is. And I mean, it's like, I've said, actually, I'll give you one name. I don't like Dustin Williams very much, but that's just because he was kind of a dick to me at SEMA one year for no reason. But, TJ Hunt, I actually admitted I was wrong about him. I thought he was going to be a dick, and he was one of the nicest dudes ever. So
I'm going to take that clip and go viral.
Hey, go ahead. TJ, great meeting you, man. Actually, his whole crew, they're super cool dudes. Calvin was very nice to me. But, it's like getting to meet so many different people, from Hurt, super cool dude, by the way. Aaron Parker, I met him my first year at SEMA after they got done filming the show on Netflix. Super cool dude. And then I saw him years later at SEMA. He actually remembered who I was.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Tavares, super cool dude. Actually, he remembered who I was too. Well, Weston Champlin, cool dude as well. I mean, getting to meet people like that, very fortunate for one. I've gotten to meet them, but not the receiver. Former
I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, but former San Francisco, now
Deebo
Washington.
Samuel.
Yeah,
You know what? I feel I can tell this story now.
Deebo. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Tell us a Deebo Samuel story.
So, I get a call from my friend who will not be named just due to he still has a business to run.
Sure.
So out of respect for
Protect
that.
the innocent.
He calls me. He's like, "You're a Niner fan, right?" I'm like, "Oh yeah. What's going on?" And he's like, "I have an opportunity to sell to Deebo Samuel." I'm like, "All right." He's like, "You want to go?" I'm like, "Of course."
Well, totally. I would have jumped at that too.
Oh yeah, and keep in mind, before then, I have gotten to meet Jhae Sanders, who played out here in Arizona his rookie season. Super cool dude. Me and him actually had a pretty cool friendship for a while. So we're at Deebo Samuel's house in Scottsdale. Already knew it was going to be a bad time. So we pull up to the house. I park in his driveway. I don't know if he's home or not. He texts my buddy, "Move your car." I'm like, "Oh, okay, my bad, dude. You know, we didn't know you weren't here." Okay.
So you drove the SV?
What was that? Nah, I had the Ford Fusion.
Oh, maybe he thought FBI was there.
Nah. So move my car. We're sitting there waiting for him to park. He walks out from the garage. He asked us, "Y'all weren't taking pictures of my cars, were you?" We both look at each other like, "What?" Like, no. And then he asked, "So if I ask to see y'all's phones, I won't find anything?" I'm like, "I mean, buddy."
So the first impression, it started off shitty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Look, dude, like, I'm not a weirdo. Like, if you want to see, sure, but you're not going to find anything. Why would I care to take a picture of your car? I've already seen millions of your car." So he's like, "All right." So we walk into the house. He's like, "Hey, y'all want to get set up? I got to go make a run real quick." I'm like, "Okay." So we're setting up. My buddy's like, "Honestly, DeVante, like, I'm not sure how I feel. Like, you want to leave?" I'm like, "No, dude, we came to get your money. We're leaving here." You had to hit my Denzel.
That asshole
leaving here
energy.
with something. Like,
Yeah.
leaving here with something.
Yeah.
Like, what made it better, his homie, Cheyenne Smith, actually was there too. Super cool dude. He made that experience so much better. So we're sitting there trying to chop it up with Deebo. Cheyenne, he's at least, talking with us. They're picking out whatever clothes they want, and my boy asked, "Hey, can I just get a picture, just for business purposes? Like, we can take it just on this blank wall." So
Not unreasonable at all, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
Seems pretty standard.
Exactly. And he tells him, "We can take it on this blank wall, no pictures or anything, just so nobody can tell this is your house." He's like, "Oh, all right." So he goes, showers. We're sitting there packing up, talking to his boy. He comes out. My boy's like, "So that picture, can I still get it?" He's like, "Nah." I'm like,
Glad we waited.
"Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, dude." So dap them both up, head out. I'm like,
just a bad experience.
Exactly. But it told me one thing. That whole "don't meet your heroes" thing,
well, yeah.
It's only true to a degree.
Yeah.
Because that was probably the worst experience I've ever had meeting a celebrity. And it also told me, like, to only just view him on the field. And that's when I realized, we need to get rid of you because you're trash as a receiver. Like, you can't do anything that a receiver is really supposed to do. So the day we traded him,
Swiss Army knife player.
And the day we traded him, I was so thrilled. I'm like, good. Like, terrible. So, yeah, Deebo Samuel, if you ever see this, you can eat a dick. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest, dude. Like,
drink some more wine. Let's get going. Yeah. I like this.
Look, I'll just say, man,
attaboy. Drink up.
Look, I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how famous you are.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah,
Because you can't take anything with you, and sometimes your reputation is all you have.
Exactly. And even with Arizona, too, like meeting some of these influencers, a lot of them are a little weird, too. And it's like, I look at some of them and I'm like, for it, you only have the following because of these people that want to support you. You should probably be nicer to them, because all it takes is them to unfollow you. You lost everything at that point. So that's just my take on it. To each your own.
It's a good take. That's why we're here, and that's what people can expect if they check out, the Mackism Effect. Drinks and kicks.
Yes.
We've talked about it.
Yes.
By name.
Yes.
Let's double click into what that is.
Okay. So it actually stemmed off the former show Sneaker Talk, which has now been, totally wiped off the face of the earth. That was mainly due to I didn't want to get into a legal battle because somebody already
sounds
had that
like
name.
A smart decision.
Yeah. So Drinks and Kicks, like, it kind of blends, just obviously. Full disclaimer, it's actually inspired by LeBron's The Shop. If you couldn't tell, like, it's pretty obvious, and I've actually even said that publicly.
Okay.
But it kind of blends, obviously
But that's good because that's one of the inspirations.
Exactly.
Yeah, we talked about earlier. Yeah.
Exactly. So, there's another one. So it blends two things. I always like having a good drink, whether it's alcohol, whether it's egg. I'll drink coffee for the sake of the show, but I told you earlier I don't care for coffee. But, just blends that along with obviously talking about, just sneaker culture as a whole. I try to always let them know, too, they can talk about anything just that kind of involves sneaker culture, but is a little bit outside of the realm, too. But, just overall, that and good conversation. So that's really what it blends together. But also, too, like, my big thing was, especially if you see where it started from to now, production is the big thing for it. Because, shout out to my buddy Robert Gallo, who's actually a phenomenal videographer. You should start calling him Bobby G. I can't call him that.
Robert Gallo, what's up, Bobby G? Shout out to Bobby G.
He might kill me if I call him that. But, super good photographer, videographer in his own right. But, so how we got that studio space, because he was starting to help me out a lot more. And he told me, look, that last one you did, I can't allow you to do that quality ever again. As your friend, and I take that word very serious, your friend, I can't allow that quality. So I'm like, okay, find me a new spot. We stumbled across the spot we're at now, 48 Labs Studio, out there in Peoria, Glendale area. So make sure to check them out. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even about it.
You're where?
Goodyear.
You're Goodyear, yeah. So you have to go east and then north?
Yeah, essentially.
Ish?
Yeah, just north of Cardinal Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't even about like the distance. It was just about the fact, as soon as we got in there and I saw what he had to offer, I knew, oh yeah, I'm going to be recording everything here, like straight out the gate. So that production on the Sneaker of the Year that we did last year, I tell you, still to this day, I have people like, dude, like, how did you do that? And I'm like, hey, ancient Chinese secret. But no, I tell them, like, no, just go here, dude. Like, hey, it'll get you set up. And, really, that show is just all about production. Like I mentioned, we are actually planning a weekly show that's going to more so lean heavier on the, we just want to get something out weekly. So it's going to be a more shorter form. And, I told the guys that I just want to do that just so that way people have something to listen to. But we can obviously continue doing the main Drinks and Kicks just once every quarter. And, really with that too, because I do want to bring back the basketball special just because I'm a big basketball nerd. And, that's always a fun episode to do. I thought about doing a football one, but people take that too serious. Now, you're a big football guy, right?
I love football.
Who's your team?
We're a Bills family.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we're a Bills family because I married into a Bills family.
Ah.
And of course, I'm a Texas Longhorns guy.
Okay.
Being
I'm not
from
too big
Texas.
on college myself, but
I love it.
yeah. So I was planning a football special years ago, but then I realized I had too many Cowboys fans that wanted to come on, and I'm like, look, like, I don't mind too many of them, but I know they take
That's
it a
a
little
crazy
too serious.
size fan base.
Yes, and
mind you, I'm from Texas.
yes,
I'm from. I could say Dallas because it's the big city, but I'm from Garland, which is a suburb. Like it's like Gilbert.
I
Phoenix.
know what you're talking about. Yeah. You know, it just kills me because like I wanted to do it, but there was one Cowboys fan and one Eagles fan. I'm like, oh no,
okay,
never mind. Like I can't do that. I'm like, those two will be foaming at the mouth the second something gets said, and I'm like, I'm not willing to go through that. I'm sorry.
And both fan bases are kind of like borderline unreasonable.
Well,
so then there's that.
Here's the thing, though. You know, I guess we're gonna talk football for a sec. I don't even dislike the Cowboys as much as I should, being a Niner fan. I actually dislike the Steelers even more.
Really?
Oh, because that's the one ring that Fitzgerald should have gotten.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one ring.
It's like, and no disrespect to 9/11, but I think for a lot of football people, everybody kind of knows where they're at when they saw Fitzgerald running in the touchdown and you think the game is over.
Yes.
And everybody knows when Santonio Holmes caught that fucking bullshit pass.
Thank you.
We lived in Michigan at the time. We weren't even here. So I get it.
I'm glad you're willing to see. Like, look, bro, that was not 2 feet down. I don't care what anybody
We were all
says.
just like, yeah, go, touchdown, and then, you know.
Now, so it's like with them, I cannot stand the Steelers at all. Like that is probably my most hated team, and
it's a weird team to hate, by the way.
Oh, I agree, but at the same time, like y'all took my joy because I actually met Larry Fitzgerald. He came to my middle school. Actually, I think it was the year they went to the Super Bowl. So, you know, that was like one of my favorite players. And to see that happen was just so devastating. So, yeah, I can't stand the Steelers. The Bills, I feel for y'all low key because, look, man, like, having to go 4 years in a row, can't get it done, and now seeing what's going on now. Because which year was it?
Talking about the Kansas City game?
Yes, that's the one, dude. That one, and there's one other one.
I think it's known as like the 13-second game or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It changed the rules for one, but it kills me because, like, obviously my team keeps losing to Patty in the Super Bowl. And what kills me about the 13-second one is like the fact that Allen didn't even get a chance.
Yeah.
Like that will always sting a little bit because I like Josh Allen a lot. I mean, now if we want to talk quarterbacks, it's definitely him Patty, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow's amazing when he's healthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, Lamar, but I feel those two are interchangeable.
They are. I agree.
I always say if those two swap teams today, neither team gets better or worse because they do the same thing.
I've never heard someone say that before, but it makes sense.
I'll break that down real quick if I may. Hey, look,
by all means.
You know, I'm about to show my elite level ball knowledge here. Okay, look. Josh Allen, great scrambler, easily can run it, score a touchdown at will. Lamar, great scrambler, easily can score a touchdown at will. You know which they have better over each other? I'd argue Lamar is the better runner Josh Allen is the better passer. That's the only thing that separates them. But even then, they're not very far off of each other.
No, they're like 1A, 1B.
And every time,
Coin flip.
every year, one always just has a better team than the other one. Yeah. That's all it ever is.
It's about the cast.
Exactly. Yeah. So, again, Ravens fans, Bills fans, don't get mad at me. I'm just pointing out the facts. You can look at this yourself. But no, I mean, even then, going back to the whole Deebo situation, you know, that one probably just stung a little bit because, you know, I was trying to tell him, you know, like, bro, I'm such a big fan. Like, you know, I'm hoping y'all get the dub this year, hoping y'all get the championship this year. And to get treated like that, like, oh, yeah, it stings to this day because it's like, dude, like, you came at me disrespectful. And actually, too, another funny part about that, me and my homie started getting so irritated. I told my homie, I'm like, you know, now that I see that me and him are the exact same height, if you want to jump him, like, I'm all for it at this point. I'm not going to hold you.
Right.
Because I'm like, I don't feel intimidated at all. Yeah. I'm like, so it's up to you. And he's like, nah. I'm like, yeah, I understand, dude. I'll just tell you, like, hey, look, if this is an option, or he starts talking too crazy, like, yeah, it's about to go down. I'm about to crash out. But, yeah, you know, like I said, don't meet your heroes all the time. And also, I'm glad he's still a free agent.
Oh, is he? He's still,
yes,
he
keeps
getting hurt, man.
Oh, yeah. That's all he's ever done. Stop eating those Twinkies, dog.
I mean, CMC's always hurt too, but...
Yeah, but problem is,
for all intents and purposes, he's probably an incredible guy.
I feel like the Panthers kind of hurt his career. Just
early on, way overuse, yeah.
And I feel like we're still continuing that to a degree, but I feel the damage was already done.
The dude had to fucking play quarterback in the playoffs.
Dude, that was insane. That one still stings. I'm not gonna lie. That was like the 1 year.
Well, that's the 1 year that the Eagles brag about beating the Niners. I'm like, dude, they were down to like literally their fifth string quarterback was a running back. Like, what are we talking about?
But here's the problem too, though. I literally said, I don't care that Jalen Hurts has that ring. I'm still taking Purdy all day. Because when you look at Purdy's rookie year, if he retired tomorrow, he's statistically better than half of the quarterbacks we've ever seen play. Yeah. Just off that one season.
I remember watching him at Iowa State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, nasty. Like, and to get him, especially that late, and he ends up winning
Mr. Irrelevant.
Oh, yeah. Is still one of the craziest stories I've ever seen. But, no, I mean, even then, it's like, you know, getting to meet a lot of famous people like that is definitely cool. Like, I don't fanboy a lot when it comes to it. I mean...
Yeah, I've heard you say that.
Yeah, like, because it's like, at the end of the day, you're just a person to me. And I mean, with how many famous people I've met already or will potentially get to meet in the future.
Yeah, boy.
I mean, it's like, it is what it is, man, you know?
Who's the most famous person that you've met that you wanted to meet?
Ooh.
Because sometimes you're in situations, right? And it's like, oh, that's so-and-so. Oh, cool. I met, and this is bullshit, but like, oh, I met Brad Pitt. But I was never like looking forward to meeting Brad Pitt, but that would be awesome. But it's like, if it's somebody else, like, man, one day it would be so cool if I was in the same room with George Clooney and then you get an opportunity to meet George Clooney. You know, is there anybody, has that moment happened yet for you?
I'd say one, and it was just completely random. So SEMA a few years ago, we're at the Hoonigan burn pit. I noticed this dude walking out, and it was crazy. Nobody realized who it was because I'm like, Cowboy? Donald Cerrone? He's like, oh yeah, that's me. I'm like,
I don't know who that is.
Oh, the UFC fighter.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, can I get a picture real quick? He's like, of course. Like, yeah, so that was super cool to get to meet him.
Were you able to have small talk with him at all? Or no?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that's
not
cool.
too quick because
Yeah.
he was on his way somewhere, so I didn't want to keep him too long.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm very respectful when it comes
Yep.
to everybody's time. You know, him. I guess I could say getting to meet Nakai-san.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how did that go? Did you just like exchange pizzas, or
it
you
was
give him
very quick because he was in the middle of
because his English isn't great, right?
it not at all.
Yeah.
But you know, it was very quick because he was in the middle of building a RWB Ikigai out here. So very quick, just you know, spoke the little bit of Japanese I could to him.
So for people who don't know who that is, he's really famous in the car world. It's very he's a polarizing person.
Yes,
especially with the Porsche, fan base. But he goes around and he if you pay him enough, he'll fly to you and he will hack up your Porsche if it's the right model year and turn it into kind of a semi-wide body ish. RWB is what they're known for, and we've got some RWB friends, but he's kind of a big deal. So
yeah, so it was cool getting to meet him and actually, you say RWB friends. One of my longtime friends that owns RWB Blackbird actually kind of just helped me talk with him a little bit because they're great friends.
Yeah, cool.
So it was cool getting to meet him. And then I'll tell you about one that I almost had a chance to meet, but my little brother ruined that for me. Almost had a chance to meet T-Pain.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. My little brother, very good friends with Hurt and Gary King, who I've actually also gotten to meet. Actually, I'll tell that story here shortly. My little brother was actually filming which his name is Wesley Davis, owner of Endless Media. He's filming a reel with T-Pain at the Hoonigan Burn Pit, and I told him, call me if you meet T-Pain. I just want to say hi. Never called me. And then we're in the hotel room. I see him editing the reel. I'm like,
bro, we had a conversation.
Dude, yeah. I literally went and punched him straight out the gate. I'm like, dude, how dare you? I feel so betrayed right now. Because I'm like, I told you I just wanted to meet T-Pain. It is what it is. Gary King, who I also got to meet that year at SEMA. So, I get a random FaceTime from Wes, and Gary King's on the phone. This dude proceeded to just stunt on me with the old WWE spinner belt. And just talking so much trash to me. Just out of fun. But I'm over here like, did you call me just for this to happen? I'm like, I feel so betrayed again. Now, I got Gary back years later, but, it's all good. Love that dude to death. Super nice guy. And then actually another one that I got to meet was Johnny Grunwald. I've actually met him twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We follow each other on Instagram.
You got to get him on the pod.
I haven't. I think I may have met him. I think I may have met him in 2018 when I was doing the media tour with the VF1 SNSX.
Oh, cool.
Because I was at, we would go to Long Beach. So we would go to, I forgot the show, but they had, one of the shows doesn't exist anymore. But it's AC. And every time I see Auto Cannon, I think about it. But anyway, we used to go to this car show out there. Yeah, and I think Johnny had maybe a bitchin' FD or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he still has
a white one?
Yeah, he still has it.
Yeah, I think he was there, and I'm pretty sure I met him, because if I were to DM him, he might DM me back. So that tells me that I probably met the guy at some point.
Nice. It's funny you mentioned that NSX, because I remember seeing it a while ago, and I never knew it was yours. It actually cracked me up when you posted something about it, just kind of reminiscing over it. I'm like, that was yours? I'm like, wow, okay. Crazy.
I'm like a childhood star that only had that one show, and then I'm at the Comic-Con signing autographs at the booth, now that I'm an old, crazy adult,
That's crazy. Yeah, but no, I mean, had a chance to meet some pretty cool people, man. Always fortunate. Yeah. And I mean, I hope it continues, honestly.
I got two things for you.
Yes.
And granted, it doesn't have to end there, but one, we haven't talked about cars at all.
We should probably do that.
Yeah. Well, it's a non-automotive podcast,
Of course,
so it's not a
course.
requirement.
Of course.
But I know you've talked about a project. I want to say maybe G35.
Yes.
I would assume the coupe.
Yes.
Okay.
And it is manual. I know how to drive a manual. I know it's kind of surprising.
I could burn on that for a second.
What's up?
Because a lot of memes in the last, 8 years, they're like the anti-theft device is have a manual.
Yes.
Because the younger generation, and a lot of times they like to make fun of people for not knowing how to drive a manual. And I've never liked that because once upon a time, automatics were luxury. Mm-hmm. You paid more for an automatic. Even in my time, I'm 50, but even in the late 90s, if you wanted an automatic, it cost more than the manual counterpart.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why when you go to these smaller countries that don't have a lot of money, everyone's driving a stick. The fucking cab that picks you up, it's a cab. It's it's a van with a 5-speed, right? Every truck has a 5-speed. So I always push back on that. I'm like, come on, can we stop making fun of young people who can't drive a stick? Because now a manual is the luxury.
So you want your answer to that? No, we can't.
We can't. Okay, all right, that's fine.
No,
I taught my son how to drive a stick. I taught my wife how to drive a stick because we had Audis. I refused to teach my daughter how to drive a stick because I thought she was going to steal the car.
That makes sense. I'm not gonna lie.
Kids go through a phase. I didn't want her stealing my NSX. I didn't want her stealing the Audi. So I never taught her how to drive a stick.
Which I'm going to actually say this to you. I commend you because my greatest fear on earth is to have a daughter. And it's only because everybody else, I know I will be that crazy overprotective dad. So I understand.
The G35.
So the G35, highly regret buying that. No. It's not even for the reason that you would think. I know it's the takeover / Edgar car now.
Is that what it is? It's one of those. I mean, I think about like a couple of Dodge models.
Oh yeah, I know where you're getting at.
Yeah, because I always see those, and there's a few. I mean, I just reeled on some old man who has a classic plate on his Altima. Some of the old Altimas, but
so it's not even about like the car itself. It's just about like I wish I would have just like instinct would have kicked in to tell me like, nah, don't buy this one specifically because.
But you bought it for a reason.
Yeah, I needed a car.
Well, there had to be another reason, right? Yeah. I mean, there's tons of cars out there. Maybe you like that car.
Well, I needed a car. I was kind of in a pinch because the transmission on the Fusion had started slipping. And I told myself.
Was that before or after Debo Samuel said, get that car out of my driveway?
Oh, way after.
Okay.
So I needed a car. Told myself, I'm getting a manual for the next car. I miss it. I want to get back in one. So me and my buddy, we drive down to Tucson. That's where I made my first mistake. Let me just. I'm sorry, Jorge, but Tucson is a dump. I'll forever stand on that. The Dirty T, which I didn't even know it was called.
Shout out the Dirty T.
Yeah, that was the first mistake. I shouldn't have even drove down there. Buy the car. Everything's checking out. I should have noticed a few things that now our good friend Danny has pointed out to me, who's actually...
He was working on one too for a while.
Oh, yeah. He owns one. He's been helping me out a bit. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been helping me out a bit with mine. But everything checked out for the time being. It was when I got it back home... That's when everything started going wrong.
Of course.
Random misfires, white smoke. So, I keep thinking that I keep fixing the issue. No, I'm continuously chasing the issue. Take it to the tech. As I'm explaining all the symptoms, he tells me, stops me. He's like, get a new motor. I'm like, whoa, what do you mean?
Because
like,
he knows.
Yep. He's like, so it's basically they did a quick fix on it that just kind of masked all the
For
problems.
the sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he told me I could do that just so you can dump the car onto somebody else, but I know you're not that type of dude, so just get a new motor. Cool. Shout out to him because he actually worked on my old right-hand drive Z32. Did wonders with that car too because that thing was a nightmare at times. We all know those things are nightmares to a degree. So as I've been working on the project, it was recently that I found out what was the main cause of the random misfires. I mean, obviously the gaskets go bad, but one of the idiots, and I can't even fully say that it was the dude that sold it to me because I don't even think he knew. One of the idiots that owned the car before, I'd say either one of us, he put the rev up fuel injectors into the DE, which you cannot do.
Mismatch application.
Oh yeah, you cannot do it unless you tune the car.
Right.
Yeah, and I know that thing is not tuned, so I'm like, oh my god. Well, but I'm glad I found it because I'm like, okay, I never would have known. So it's like, okay. Bottom line, got the new motor. Finally gonna get back to working on it and kind of getting closer to pulling the old one out finally and putting the new one in. Hoping to get that thing done by mid-July is what I'm shooting for. But I mean, on the plus side though, I'm gonna come out of this with a 23-year-old car that's essentially brand new because, I mean,
You're gonna get the classic plate.
I'm thinking about it. I'm not gonna lie, but I also want that new black one that they just came out with.
Yeah, the black Arizona plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the cause that it's for. You know, that's something I'd love to donate towards. So, I mean, why not? But I mean, if I can get that classic one, hey, of course I'm getting the classic one. But yeah, so hopefully gonna be getting that thing on the road mid-July is what I'm shooting for. But I mean, I've kind of learned with this process, it's a lot of, well, you're already down there and you can actually get to that part easier on the motor, so you might as well just do it. Yeah, so basically that the new motor is getting a whole overhaul from timing to basically new parts and all that. So, you know, it's definitely a fun learning process. I hate it at times because it's a lot of me having to learn as I'm going because my mechanical knowledge is very little. Like,
and it's a one-time learn too.
Exactly.
You learn it for the job, and you're gonna forget it because you're never gonna fucking have to do it again.
Exactly. Because
hopefully,
I've said so many times, like, dude, if somebody comes to me with the right offer, I will sell this thing. Because, like, my absolute dream car, which I've said so many times, is a Mazda RX-7 FD. And I know that sounds crazy.
No.
But I'm also a firm believer in those motors can be reliable if idiots just stop buying them that don't want to actually put in the work to maintain it. I'll stand on that point till the day I die. But you know, it's definitely been a fun project. I will say that, and I'm looking forward to getting back to it. So yeah. But I do need to get rid of that Tomei exhaust because I remember, I know you remember that joke I cracked at the last air of it out. I think that was a Camaro that, you know, had to do that pull.
Of course, there's always somebody.
And I said, man, over in my area, that would be a G35 with a Tomei exhaust. I was talking about myself. I don't do pulls. I just want to point that out, but I do need to get rid of the Tomei exhaust on my car because it's annoying. Yeah, but no, I mean, I will say though, I actually have always liked the G35 over the 350. I like the body style a little bit better because the 350, like, it's almost too tuner like to me in a sense versus like the G35 kind of has like a more appealing look because it's like a good blend.
It has a It's a more mature look.
Yes, that's a perfect.
It's a more mature look.
Yes.
One of my old school besties who is now, I think he's an executive or he's at a really high level at Toyota.
Oh, cool.
And we almost never talk. We follow each other online. He was part of my first car group, but he had a really nice, white, kind of pearly white G35 coupe and was part of this car club down in Dallas. And,
Interesting.
his car was sick as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean,
a little different than the sedan, which is not sick at all.
The sedan is absolute garbage.
They shouldn't even name it the same thing because they kind of don't really look like each other.
Or you got that one dude that's been on the internet talking about just because he owns a G35. Well, technically, I own a Skyline because that's what it's called overseas.
Oh,
and I'm like,
my God.
Bro, cut it out.
So my old Infiniti FX series, they share a lot of stuff with the 350 and the 370.
Mm-hmm.
Not the FX50, of course, that I had because it's a V8. But the non-V8 shares, everything's like interchangeable.
Oh, yeah. That was the funny thing, too, when I first got the G, because I would explain to my mom, like, oh, yeah, this is technically a 350. She's like, what? And I'm like, if I took off every body panel and put on 350 body panels, they'd fit.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, she didn't believe me. So I had to show her. I'm like, you see this? This is exactly how the 350 is.
What's that crazy kit that people do? Where they make it look like almost like a Skyline? There's some kit that people, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Vaguely, because I think that's what...
it's got a weird, like a Vader?
I think so.
Vadar kit or something?
I think so.
It makes it look like a high-end exotic until everyone's like, oh, that's just a Jeep.
Yeah.
That's a 35.
I can tell you, like, if I do end up keeping the car for the long haul, it actually is going to be a drift car.
Okay.
That was kind of the plan when I got it because it's already a restored salvage. So I don't care about smacking it into a wall at this point. But really the inspiration that I'm kind of chasing is the old Falcon tire one. Yeah, kind of something similar to it. Just because, like, I had totally forgotten about that car. And then a picture popped up just randomly on my feed. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, so that's probably what I'm chasing. But even then, too, though, like, I'm always thinking, like, okay, if, Divergent Being blows up, if I just somehow, some way win the lotto one day, like,
is that like the top of the umbrella? Divergent Being. So underneath it is Mackism and Drinks and Kicks.
Oh yeah. So Divergent Being is what everything is under.
Like for me, it's Hard Parking Media.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. So that's the goal, for that to blow up, or like I said, I hit the lotto just out of the blue.
Do you play the lotto?
I mean, I like to buy a number here and there.
Okay.
It's so funny. My grandmother actually used to do it. God rest her soul. We never knew till my mom actually told me, or I never knew till my mom actually told me, oh yeah, she be buying tickets. I'm like, oh, okay. So I kind of have kept it alive a little bit. But
okay, all right.
I only play when it gets like past like 500 mil. Because I feel there's a point where it's like, if you're constantly buying them, like, you have a problem. Like, that money.
There's people who buy them every, I don't even know what the date is. I'm going to say Wednesday and Friday or whatever it is, right?
See, I feel that's crazy.
It is. Because if you think about the amount of money that people spend in that,
you could have put that towards something else.
And we always talk about winning the lotto.
Mm-hmm.
We never play. We have in the past, like I've gone to, and I'm like, let me get the quick pick, But when you think about it, it's like, damn, you know how much money that people are. But every once in a while, it's I get it. Because you still have a chance, no matter how slight it is.
Exactly. But even then, though, I'm pretty tame about it, too. Like, I don't, like, there's times I'm like, nah, I'm good. But, I've said, like, okay, like, if there's 5 cars I ever had to own, and I always keep it at 5 because material.
It's a good handful number.
Yeah. But I mean, I always say I'm a firm believer in, like, I don't want to be too materialistic. So I always cap it off at 5. Obviously, RX-7 FD would be number one choice.
Okay.
RWB Porsche.
What color would you get?
I would love to do the yellow just because I'm a big Initial D fan.
You know, we have 2 yellows in town
Oh, yeah.
at minimum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe more because,
Tim
we
Yule,
have Tim. It's Tim
absolutely.
Isle.
My bad.
Tim Isle.
Yes, I'm glad he finally, like, helped me learn that because I'm like,
So
I've
Eric
been saying his
Greenback
name wrong
bought
the whole
one
time.
recently, too.
Oh, really?
Which is like one of his besties. I was
Mm.
actually hanging out with him earlier, and I go, dude, you bought the same color car as your homie? Like, there's not enough room for 2 yellow
That's
FDs
funny.
in town.
Oh, man. I tell you what, I love Tim to death, man.
He's
Like,
great.
that dude has always been
He's
the
great.
nicest dude
Yeah.
to me ever.
But yellow, that's cool.
Yes. Or the Spirit R blue, just because the Spirit R was always my favorite one because that was the final one.
That is a trim I think a lot of non-diehard FD people have no idea exists.
Exactly. Which is kind of crazy.
Which includes myself. I just learned about that like weeks ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
I was looking at the thing and go, wait.
Did
that's kind of like a Type R-ish tape. It's like special.
Yeah, so did you know that there's only one left-hand drive one in existence?
I didn't know that.
It was made for the president at the time of Mazda North America. Yeah, so that's the only one.
Would you veil sight it?
What
do you think about the veil sight? Like, no shit.
I like it. No,
like Jake Johnson, friend of the show.
Oh yeah,
personal friend of mine.
I finally got to see his in person.
I just the veil sight. I can't get with the veil sight RX-7, the veil sight NSX.
Okay, so
I appreciate it when I see him, but
I feel like I like the kit. I'm glad he did blue because it kind of showed like, okay, it does look good in other colors.
Right, not just orange and black.
Yeah, because I get so tired of seeing people do orange and black. I'm like, dude, like it's overdone. I've seen 5 of them just on Instagram alone. It's like, I'm tired of it. So I'm glad he did a blue one. The only thing I'd say I don't like is I don't like how big people do the wheels on that when they get that kit at times.
What was the 1/18 scale thing you could buy that came with the giant wheels? It's like, I think Hot Wheels or Model Masters or Metal Masters or somebody made something like that. But anyway, that's what it always reminds me of, you know?
So that throws me off. But other than that, I like the kit, but I wouldn't do it just because I like the Ari Yamamiya kit. And I know that's a tough word for people to say it. From what I've been told, it's Amamiya. Some people say Amimiya. Amamiya, from what I've been told, so I'm gonna stick with that. Also, too, my buddy who actually owns the shirt, Never Content JP, he actually showed me his replica feed FD, and I told him if he ever sells that, I want first crack at it. But you know, it had to be one of those kids because I feel that's really the kit that really made me love the car, especially in 4th stage of Initial D. So yeah, it had to be that kit.
So I interrupted you on your list. Are you getting back to it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
RWB Porsche. I actually like the 997 a lot. Like from when it first got unveiled to, you know, seeing a bunch of them now. I wouldn't mind a 993 if I could find a 993 for a good price, but
you had to be okay with cutting up.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why it's like, because I remember Jordan talking about it. I think it was on your pod.
It's either mine or maybe Jorge's.
But he talked about how when Nakai-san got started, he was actually taking wrecked ones and putting the kits on those. I would like to do that to kind of keep that alive because honestly, it's a little more justifiable in my opinion. Now, if you can't afford to cut up a, you know, fresh one, hey, more power to you. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had a lot of money, I wouldn't even
money
care.
Status.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
That's just me though. And again, this is ballpark if I just had crazy money.
So we have
FD RX-7,
FD,
RWB
Porsche, yeah.
Ferrari F40 Competition.
Okay.
Again, it's like I have crazy.
Hey, it's
money.
crazy. I mean, we got test drive unlimited 2 money. So.
Exactly. Man, that fourth one, I would honestly say I'd love to get another FRS or just GR86.
Interesting. Okay.
Just because I had a FRS.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's
coming in strong at 4. So this is in no particular order.
Yeah, no particular order at all. That one is just a special attachment to me because that was like the car I learned how to drive a manual on, truly. And I still will stand on that's one of the greatest, like, just base level sports cars, entry level sports cars that anybody could get into.
Yeah.
And then that final one, I always like to keep that one open just because there's so many good cars out there.
You got to fill it right now, though.
All right. If I had to fill it.
And I don't know if I can answer this, but I mean, it wasn't a question, but I don't know if I could pick 5 cars. So I get leaving one open, but
yeah, okay.
You brought it up.
I'll answer it. So actually one that just popped on my radar. I'd love to get that Carhartt edition Ford F-150.
So you got 3 incredibly impossible dream cars, and you got 2 attainables.
Yes.
Good for you, yeah.
Like I said, I'm a simple guy.
Or semi-attainable, yeah.
I'm a simple guy, you know. I know that sounds crazy for me to say a Carhartt F-150. I like Carhartt, and I actually have earned my badge. So, I'm just saying.
And then, what do you want out of Mackism? Because you have Mackism and you have, drinks and.
Okay, so
for Mackism,
I'm actually gonna go in general with everything.
Between that and drinks,
yes, because I've answered this question so many times. The answer never changes. I want you to watch any type of content that we put out, or heck, even article that we might write, because we're talking about getting into that in the future. I want you to just be able to look at all the work that we put out 20 years later and still be able to say, you know, that's still good. That's still good work. It holds up till this day. That's what I'm shooting for, because I don't like how we're in this short form content. Just get the content out regardless, because I don't feel like you can put out your best work that way. And I know that sounds crazy, but I know, well, to people that do it, we understand. But
as creators, to
the outsiders that don't understand how content creation actually works, I always had to explain to them, like, if I was going to literally start all over tomorrow, I still would not change how I do things, because I'm all about quality over quantity. I mean, heck, you can see that even in my sneaker collection. I don't have as many shoes as most sneakerheads would have, but that's why I'm big on quality over quantity. Right. I'm very selective. I mean, even from my clothing as well, I'm very selective on what I pick. And
you find some white shoes yet for that suit?
I mean, I have some, but it's like suits actually getting fixed. So, and I'm looking forward to doing some work with them as well. But even then too, just trying to be very selective in general in everything I do. From certain podcasts that I might want to try to go on in the future, certain people that I want to have on my stuff in the future. It's all about just curating at the right time for me. I'd say that's my big thing. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question.
It does. I'm going to ask you a question, another one, because you didn't really fully answer it.
Okay.
Well, last time this was asked to you, and I forgot the name of the gentleman who was on your podcast that I had reached out to him and said, I loved you.
Oh, Matt Freights. Yep.
Matt Freights.
Yep.
Yes.
That's my dog.
He asked you a question, and I was listening to it, and I go, you didn't answer that question. You skirted around it. And I can't let you get off the hook on that.
Okay.
And you may not have the answer yet.
Okay.
But because for each of us, we have to define within ourselves what this means.
Okay.
And I think Matt even said that. So specific to Mackism, what does success look like for you? And you may have just said it, looking in the future back, but at the time, you were still chasing success. So what ultimately, what does that success look like for you?
Okay. So why did I feel like this was going to come up, actually?
Were you thinking about it on your way here?
No, well,
fucking Jay's going to ask me this shit at some point.
No, so here's what's funny. You and Jorge have a very, you're good at having those questions that I know I'm going to have to answer. With the Hulk Hogan one, I knew he was going to bring it up. And I'm like, I might as well just start thinking about that now. So success for me, I don't necessarily want to say that I want to be held in regard as the best to do this because...
Well, that's why it's so personal.
Yeah.
Because no one can answer this but you.
So I don't want to say I want to be the best because I feel like that's too broad. It. Yeah, you can't measure it either. Because...
If you measured it, it'd be Joe Rogan. Based on numbers.
Yeah. And, even how I made that statement with that episode with my nephew about how, I feel I have one of the better sneaker projects.
Yep.
But even then, my numbers don't show. But I'd say success for me is, to a degree, I want to be known as, just an artist in general. My craft is very well respected because I don't label myself as a podcaster. So I more so label myself as an artist because I do just so much stuff. Nah, I can't stand that. I knew you were going to do that too. I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Isn't it fucked up how the word influencer has become like a negative thing?
Not really.
I think it is. But
no.
It is what it is.
I think it is, but I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah. That's different. But I pulled you off of that. What success look like for you?
I got to think about that, but I'll save it after I answer it.
All right.
No, I mean, like I said, I just want to be known as a very good artist. And, say I decide to bow out. You can't take anything away from me.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah.
That's what success looks like to me. And, I would like to, because there's so many other plans that I have. I'm actually currently working on an event that I can't speak about on camera, so I'll say that for off camera. But, just want to be very respected for my craft. That's really it. And I feel I'm already there, and I'm just progressing even more. So, I mean, I'm thankful for that. Now, my influencer take, because
hot take.
I had to get this out.
Let's get this out on a hot take.
All right, look. Influencers. I can't stand a lot of them. And, actually, I do want to bring this up. Chud the Builder. I've never been so glad to see somebody actually face consequences before in my life. Because it's like, look, bro. You don't got to be a dick to be famous or get fame. Just be a genuine person. Be a nice person. Like, all this hatred that you're spreading, why don't you actually go use that energy and do some good in the world? Because we could use a lot of that right now. That's all I'm saying. So, I'm glad he's facing consequences. That's really it. But also, it should show every influencer, like, there's consequences for your actions. And I hope everybody is watching this and thinking, maybe I should rethink that dumb idea that I have.
Sure.
Because, take you and I, for example, we don't have FU money to bail us out of situations. So everything we do might potentially have consequences.
I can't think of the guy's name right now, but who's that fucking dickhead who goes around and acts like he's going to pick fights with people?
That's Chud the Builder.
No. He's got another name. No, he's going to pick fights with people, and then his bodyguard steps in. In fact, he just got banned from Waste Management this last year.
Wasn't that Neon?
No, God, what's his name? People are screaming at this right now. But anyway, he's one of those people. Like his job, he goes around and he purposely bumps into people.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I just cannot.
I didn't know
remember
who
the
he
name.
was until Hawk Tua got famous.
Oh, okay. I know vaguely who you're talking about. The name is just escaping me.
Yeah, he's got like a normal name. But anyway, people like that give a bad name to the influencer, because when I think of influencers, I think of people like Miss Amelia.
Yes.
Who does it the right way. You think about Jesse Iwuji, who does it the right way. And they were doing it the right way. And then you got all these other people come around. There's a guy, Myron Gaines, obviously, we talked about him earlier. But there was a Johnny, do you know who Johnny Somali is?
Vaguely, yes.
So he is an American, I didn't even know he's a fucking American. He's like an American Somali. But he would go around and do stupid shit. And he's recently been sentenced in Korea. Because a Korean dude came up and punched his ass because he's like, I dare anybody come up and punch me.
Yes, okay.
And he actually got recently, sentenced to a long time over there. So those are the air quotes influencers that have kind of fucked up what it means to be an influencer.
100%.
Because you're an influencer, I'm an influencer, but we will never introduce ourselves as influencers because of the negative connotation, and it's too bad.
Well, even then, it's like,
because we influence people. Not intentionally.
Yeah. It's like, even when I'm over in Japan, actually, one of my favorite questions that get asked when I go over there is, how are you viewed over there, DeVante, for obvious reasons? And I always tell them, I'm like,
By the Japanese ask you that?
By friends out here. Because they're always,
I get it. Yeah. I've been there, done that, but I've never been to Japan. But I get.
Yeah. Now there are some. We talk over there when I'm over there about how is it being black in America, but I'll get to that in a second. For my friends that ask me out here, how am I viewed over there? I always tell them it depends who I'm talking to, because that older generation, they're a little like, but they're at least respectful. That younger generation, I tell them like, oh, they're used to seeing black people.
I have a hot take.
What's up?
It's going to get me in trouble, but continue your story.
All right, I got to hear this one.
But you're going to agree with me.
The Japanese, I tell them, because my favorite thing to do is, I always like to attend one Japanese religious service, because usually I can find one person that speaks English, and we talk, and kind of like I like to explain things to them. This last time I told them, because they asked me, so what made you want to come? Because you're not going to understand hardly anything. And I told them, well, I felt it was my duty to kind of come and show you that how you guys are taught to view us as Black Americans is false. And she kind of sat there and thought about it. And me, I like to joke. So I'm giving her a second.
Yeah.
And then I hit the bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
She started laughing. I'm like, but see what I mean? She's like, okay, I get what you're saying. Like, so it's always cool to get to talk to them about, just the differences. But yeah. I got to hear this hot take.
Well, it's okay. So how do you describe being black in America when you're in another country and you get asked that question? And to defend people from the other side of the world, they may not see a lot of dark-skinned people, whether you're from America or Europe or anywhere else, and so you become a spectacle.
Okay.
So it's more curiosity than like racism.
Yes. Okay. I'll use a prime example. How do you feel about Orange Man?
Sure. Okay. That's a great example.
Exactly. I tell him, I don't like the guy. A lot of us don't like the guy. Well, depending on what demographic you are, but even then, that's still a stretch to even say.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a huge stretch to say.
Exactly. But I just let them know. I'm like, look, bro, believe it or not, a lot of us don't like the guy. And I just leave it there.
A lot of us as Americans or black people?
I'd say as Americans in general. But even then, that's still a stretch to say.
Yeah.
So it's like, as black folks, I tell them, like, I'd probably say it's majority. But even then, there's still those few that are.
Do you think it's
Yeah.
that though, or do you think it's because of the party affiliation?
Oh,
And I mean, we could go on for another hour about this.
no,
but
I feel you because trust me, I gotta. Even though I tell people all the time, I'm not a political dude.
I think it's more partisan than anything.
I think it's a little bit of both to a degree because, you know, like I said, I'm not a political dude by any means.
But you're a human.
Exactly. So
and you're American.
And also I look at it because I'm like, it's just, you got to keep yourself informed to a degree.
Yeah, you can't rely on the media.
Of course not. But I said one time to somebody, you know, I miss that period of Republicans, conservatives, specifically the last time Mitt Romney, when he ran, because I felt that's when it was still respectful. Because, I mean, let's be real, nobody really liked Obama. And I'm
How
saying,
dare you?
No, I'm saying in terms of,
how dare you?
I like the guy actually.
He's a great orator.
Oh yes, I'd love to have him on the pod. But
yeah, who wouldn't?
Of course. But you know, I'm saying people didn't like him just because they were only just looking at what he was. They never actually sat there and like wanted to actually hear him out. But I can say Mitt Romney and heck even McCain at least showed him the proper respect, regardless if they agreed with him or not. So those two were probably the last two that I actually respected. But I miss that period because it's like, you know how some people say, I miss when politics was boring. I understand because it's like, yes, you heard about it, but there wasn't craziness going on for real. And people kind of kept it to themselves. I miss that period because
who do you blame for that?
MAGA. But I feel like there's even more to blame. Honestly, just us as human beings because
I blame social media.
Oh, that too. But
because back in the day, no one, it seems like it was more tame, but no one knew.
Yes, 100%.
No one was talking about
100%.
Because politicians have been out of their minds for decades.
Yes, but that's where I say us as human beings in general.
Yeah,
because I go back to my earlier point I said at the start of the episode, some people just need to learn to shut up. Like, trust me, I'm pretty sure we both could have had opinions on this episode alone that people would have been in an uproar about, but we chose not to say them.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, why can't anybody else have some, you know, common sense and decency to do the same thing? I mean, trust me, I got a lot of points I can make, but it's like, A, for the sake of the episode and the sake of, look, you don't got to hear every opinion I have. Right. I don't feel the need to say it. So I just leave it at that. And, you know, trying to explain that to them over there is always interesting, regardless of who I'm talking to. But, you know, I love going over there, honestly, because I had to explain to somebody one time, like, you know, what makes you say that you feel safer over there? And I'm like, I told him, look, dude, I know in reality they don't like me because I'm a foreigner. It's not even about how I look. I'm just a foreigner.
Interesting. I think you're accurate with that.
Yeah.
And nobody is willing to admit that, but exactly. I think you're 100% accurate with that.
They only don't like me because I'm a foreigner to a degree. Yeah. But they still, it's just embedded in their culture, the common decency to just show me the proper respect because
that. But then it's almost like it's respect out of fake.
Exactly.
It's just not wanting to dishonor themselves.
Exactly. But I can live with that.
Like Canadians are really nice, but they hate you.
Yeah.
That's like a joke. That's like a normal Canadian joke, you know?
But I mean, in reality, though, it's like, I go over there, like, it's like, dude, I'm spending money. I'm helping your economy. I'm helping your people. And I'm not causing a ruckus. I'm minding my own business. I'd say, regardless if you like me or not, I feel like that's the just bare minimum that you could ask for anybody that's coming into your country. So I always try to do that. You know, I always try to show my proper respect, regardless if you like me or not, because that was the number one thing I was taught by my parents. You always show respect.
Yeah. I'll end it on this. I would say that and this wasn't I wasn't going to say this earlier, but in talking with you just now, one thing a lot of Americans don't realize is
Yes.
this is actually, and I haven't been brainwashed, this is actually still one of the greatest countries in the world, for a number of reasons. Racism in this country is nothing compared to many other countries in the world. We don't seem to realize that, but I do honestly believe that. And a lot of, at least the first world, because you have third world countries, most of the first world Asian countries are far more intolerant to foreigners
100%.
and immigrants than most people here in this country would ever imagine.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Same thing with LGBTQ. Like, there are countries that will kill you.
Oh, yeah.
We don't do that here.
Yep.
But my hot take from earlier, and I've experienced this, and I know this to be true, is that, to me, the most racist people in America aren't black people. They're not white people. They're our Asian friends' parents.
Dude, the fact
the previous generation Asian parents do not like anybody. And it's not even just, if I'm old Japanese, it's not about the black white people. Fuck the Chinese. Are you dating a Vietnamese person for real? Not in my family. You know, so then when we hear these arguments about, well, my parents don't like this or their parents, I was like, man, did you know how the Asian people are? If you're Korean, you better marry another Korean.
Oh, yeah. No.
Don't even bring a Japanese person home.
The fact that one of my longtime friends who
like my age people, they're not like that.
Like,
not all of them, but there's still a lot of people our age that are.
No,
you know?
One of my longtime friends, Vietnamese, he told me, you know, out of my few black friends, you and one other one are the only two that my parents actually like. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, I don't even know how to take that, but okay.
A lot of it's tradition. A lot of it is social media. A lot of it is weirdly movies and stereotypes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but it's just like, but most people here in America, your average American would never believe that or even think about it. But it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things. It's like, look, you can't cancel me for that, but I know it, I believe it, I lived it to be true. Yeah. And I've observed it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
How can we find you?
So, you can follow me on my personal.
Did you have like three? You have like a creeper one. Not really creeper, but like I'm going to follow people to be an asshole one, right? Like a throwaway account. And then you have your main
Not
ones.
really, actually. So I have my main one, Real Mackism. Real Mackism.
Yeah.
Which that's a joke in and of itself. I have to tell another time. And then obviously Divergent Being. And I'm assuming you're going to plug all these. I'll send them to you.
Please do.
Yeah, Divergent Being, where you can find all the other ones as well. The Mackism Effect gets linked in with Real Mackism, so yeah, you'll find it there. Yeah, and then if you can find it, there is a spam one that I'm not going to name drop. You got to go look for that one.
I told you.
No, but even then, though, I'll literally just post photos, and once like you understand the premise behind it, actually shout out to Matt Freites because he gave me the idea. You'll crack up when you find it. Yeah, but that's how you find me.
DeVante, thank you so much for coming by Hard Parking. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, we're going to collab again, and we're going to do like a three-way thing with Mr. Jorge Aquino, the Podfather.
Yeah.
He's the Podfather, right?
The
or does he call me the Podfather? What do we call him? What do we call him?
I mean, he calls you the Godfather.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and he has a better podcast than I do, so.
Hey, look, man. I call it the Big 3 episode.
We got to get it done.
I'm Kendrick, though.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
A lot to unpack there with Mr. DeVante Mack. We had a blast. He was off that wine. I'm off that tequila, and hopefully you guys are still with us. That was a lot of fun. I'm going to link all the socials in the description. I'm not always the best at doing that. I'm trying to get better. With that being said, I want to thank Right Honda and Right Toyota out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Auto Cannon officially licensed Honda and Acura gear. Spark Forge Arcus Foundry. Make sure you check out thenewhardparking.com. I want to thank the Patreon business supporters, Automotive Specialty Tool out of Owings Mills, Maryland, Big House Small Home Design out of Ashburn, Virginia, and Traverse City, Michigan, the Lucky Break Sports Breakers out of Caledonia, Michigan, Kuya Automotive out of Winter Garden, Florida. Also want to thank my Patreons, Mark Stoneman, Catherine Cox, Eddie Ramos, Richard Graves, Byron Jones, Bo Jung, Al Scamina, Drew Bunkley, Andre Mullins. If you want to join the Patreon, go to patreon.com/Hard Parking Podcast. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page. Make sure you're following Hard Parking Pod on Instagram, trying to get that account to 1,000 followers so I can go live. Wouldn't that be cool to kind of go live while we're recording? If you're watching this on your phone on YouTube, make sure you scroll to the side and hype this video. And I will see you all next week.
Shut up!